IGN's Rewind Theater brought to you by Destiny, coming spring 2014. Pre-order now for exclusive access to the beta.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jim and Chris. We're here to break down the latest trailer for The Winter Soldier, the new Captain America movie, and it looks awesome.
It really does. Now, here we're going to get a first look at Cap and Black Widow in action. Scarlett Johansson rocking a new look as Black Widow, straight hair this time.
Yep. And we get a good look at Cap's new suit here. Now, this is a SHIELD-issued suit, you think?
Yeah, this is the Super Soldier uniform from the recent comics, but here it's his SHIELD-issued uniform, and we're going to see him symbolically get rid of this later in the trailer. We'll get a better look at the suit in a little bit. I like the little barbershop quartet line there to point out the anachronistic nature of his life, a 40s man in the 21st century.
And we're kind of keeping a little bit of the humor.
No parachute. And
who are these guys?
This is Mr. I Don't Want to Be in Focus. There on the right is Frank Grillo from The Gray as Brock Rumlow, a.k.a. Crossbones. They are he's a villain in the comics, and here he's a SHIELD agent who will not be on Cap's good side, as we'll see a little later on in the trailer. Cap, who needs a parachute, right, when you're Captain America? This is The Winter Soldier, obviously based on the Ed Brubaker run. Bucky Barnes, turns out he's not dead. And part of it is probably going to be found here. This looks like an old Cold War era SHIELD.
You can see the SHIELD logo as the old logo. It's not the new one that we see in Avengers and the TV show. So, then obviously this looks like an old decommissioned building here.
Now here is our first real good look at Robert Redford as Alexander Pierce. He is SHIELD brass in this movie. In the comics, he was more, I believe, a liaison to Tony Stark. He was a bigger, buffer, sort of like more superhero-y looking dude. But, for 76 years old, I think he's 76, Redford still looks better than all of us now.
Yeah, that's a great look at that suit that we're talking about.
Yeah, the Super Soldier outfit. I like it, but a lot of the fans didn't care for it. But again, it's symbolic of him now being a member of SHIELD, and this now is the Triskelion, which in the comics is this sort of secret SHIELD headquarters facility. I believe it houses supervillains in the comics. In the comics, it was in Iran. This we're not sure where, but it looks like America. Nick Fury, Sam Jackson, back now here. This fella, Anthony Mackie.
Playing the Falcon in this?
Playing the Falcon. Sam Wilson, he is also a SHIELD agent. We're going to get a good look at his suit in a little bit.
It's not red.
It is not red and white, and the wings are a little more organic. Now here we're going to see Cap is looking at what appears to be either missile strikes or some sort of mission, and I'm assuming it's against civilian targets, because you can kind of tell from Cap's forlorn expression. Now this pretty cool underground facility that Nick Fury and Cap are visiting, perhaps this is the inside of the Triskelion, because in the comics I believe it held decommissioned helicarriers, and we're going to get a good look here at some of them. Now pay attention to that number 42. We're going to see that on one of the helicarriers later. So I'm assuming these aren't decommissioned, since we're going to see them taking off at the end of the trailer. Now here's a good look at Nick Fury and Alexander Pierce. Some of the rumors are that Alexander Pierce actually becomes the new director of SHIELD, that Nick Fury either gets into trouble or something, but we'll see how that plays out. Maybe Redford's character is sort of like the public face of SHIELD. Let's see, now that fella there in the foreground, that's the Winter Soldier.
Little Winter Soldier. Yeah, he's got the flowing locks.
Yes. Now the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, who has got amnesia, has become a bad guy, been brainwashed, and he is also, like Cap, survived World War II. This is Nick Fury being operated on. We're going to see why a little later in the trailer. He comes under attack from the Winter Soldier.
He spent a lot of time in civilian clothes in this one, both he and Black Widow. It's interesting.
Now here is the helicarrier taking off. We're going to see more of this kind of cool stuff, and that looks like the number 42 one there on in the background. Quinjet's taking off. Now these guys, that's the Winter Soldier in the far right. We don't really get a good look at him, and those are his thugs who all suffer from Jason Statham-esque male pattern baldness, except for that dude in the middle. He's the lucky one.
Now, on this shot, you can see Winter Soldier's actually on the hood of that Hummer. It looks like.
Yeah, that is a pretty sweet action sequence.
And this gun here, we'll see that a little bit later. It looks like it shoots some kind of explosive discs.
Yeah, like they fly out and sort of magnetically get on the bottom of a car. That is Nick Fury's car. We're going to see that a little later on the trailer. A great shot at. There's I don't belong in this world.
Yeah, this is in DC, right? This whole sequence here.
Yeah.
So
right there in the homeland, we have a huge heavy shield presence. Let's get a good look here. Now, this was the great scene played at Comic-Con where Cap takes out all of these shield guys who were there to take him out.
And these are the guys from the first part of the trailer where he's diving out of the back of that plane.
If we back up here, we're going to see Frank Grillo's Brock Rumlow, I believe. At least
the
he
guy
is
with
in
the
this.
knife is actually the dude who was on the left in the beginning. So those guys are making another appearance, and he's actually looks like he's out to kill Cap.
Oh yeah, no, Cap is a threat to be neutralized. It looks like here he is visiting an exhibit about himself, his old World War II era Cap, as he's like, what am I about?
And I suspect, and you said this as well, that's where he gets his suit from.
Yeah, like
This
there's
suit.
his one from the first movie is World War II. Cap, that's what he's about. That's what he stands for. It looks like he's taking on SHIELD agents there, at least Winter Soldier's guys. Now let's back up here. This is a kind of a cheat. It makes it look like they're under attack here, but it's actually he's got Black Widow's got civilian clothes on there. It looks like this is from the Cold War facility that we saw them visit earlier.
Man, lots of agents going down in this. Oh, that's a great look at that bionic arm and the star on the shoulder.
Yeah, this is. I mean, his look is right out of the comics. The Brubaker run. Again, Winter Soldier is a fascinating character because Bucky was dead in the comics for like, I don't know, 60 years, 50 years, and they brought him back and made him cool again.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the biggest character transformation. Ooh, there's a great look at that gun.
Yeah, and then at his mask as well. And then here is Nick Fury. Obviously, he's already roughed up there from coming under fire. And I swear, Nick gets more scars over that eye with each movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at that thing.
So here's that nifty weapon, and you see the aftermath of this later.
Look at that.
Actually,
look how stone cold this guy is. He just stands there.
When he's holding that gun right here, that's the shot from earlier in the trailer because you can see that truck with all the holes in it.
Yeah.
That's your probably best look at his face without the mask. And this
here is a good look at Sam Wilson suited up as Falcon. Now wait for this. He's in action here, fighting the Quinjet. Wings out.
Yes, indeed.
Let's get a good look here at Sam's wings. Obviously, this is a very different look than the Falcon in the comics, who had, feathered wings and a white and red suit.
It was a really Condor Man kind of really flamboyant costume back in the day. And actually, Anthony Mackie said that he wanted to rock the red, but I mean, if you're trying to keep it, real world, that costume actually looks pretty badass, I think.
Here's Sebastian Stan as Bucky, a.k.a. the Winter Soldier. He pulls a knife on Cap. Pretty badass moves there. Then we get Cap versus Quinjet. There he is again in the old school suit. I'm glad to see this one came back.
Yeah.
Now this is the Star Trek Into Darkness money shots here of multiple helicarriers going down.
Three, right?
Yeah, it looks like there's one in the far right there, and then the two in the foreground. And it looks like it's crashing into, I would imagine, the Potomac. It looks like it's DC. Pretty badass all around. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, opens up next April. We cannot wait for this. And just to show you how badass is the Winter Soldier, that badass.
He catches the shield.
Thanks for listening.